What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and welcome to Top 10 Figures of 2022. First of all, I hope you all had a happy new year and had a good start for 2023. And this is my first video for 2023, so yay! Like last year, this list was hard to construct because there was a lot of good figures that came out this year, and the top 5 was the hardest because it felt like picking your favorite canned bread. It didn't seem fair. One exception, the number 1 obviously won out, so there's that. But you'll have to reach the end of the video to find out what that is. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. This list was hard to make, but it was still a lot of fun to make as well. That goes without saying. This also goes without saying. If I missed any of your favorites, I, honest to God, do apologize. I really do. Without further delay, let's get started.
For number 10, we have the Marvel Legends Mojo World Pack. Mojo is not my most favorite villain, but by God did Hasbro do a good job with this set. Mojo is a fantastic figure, the details are great and he is colorful. All the paint details and the wires and the color of his skin is vibrant. The single release Mojo doesn't look as good as this in my opinion, not even close. It's kind of messed up because it makes you think Hasbro was trying to force collectors to buy the set instead. And definitely a treat to have Dazzler and Longshot included in the pack. Both pinless figures are plenty posable and come with the accessories that they need. There's a couple of issues that didn't land the pack higher on the list. Dazzler's face paint is not bad at all, but feels like it could have been done a bit better. When looking at her up close, I swear to God she almost looks like her eyes are opened up a little bit too wide. And the price point? This was a very pricey set. And yes, I know Mojo is a large figure which bumped up the cost, but it's also due to Hasbro's greed in raising the price and I'm not letting that go. Still a very nice set, I recommend it. Don't overpay though. For number 9, we have the Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy 15 first appearance, Spider-Man. Getting this version of Spider-Man is a treat. They put effort into this that I genuinely did not expect. The paintwork is one thing. The way they designed the logo really does make him look like his first appearance, replicating the artwork. Using a new slimmer body for Spidey, and making his suit black instead of blue. Fun fact, Spider-Man originally did not have a red and blue outfit. It only looked blue because of how they shaded his costume. It's similar to how the symbiote costume is shaded. It's black, but they use blue for the highlights. This figure also includes gripping hands for his webs. Yeah, he can actually hold on to them. And his web wings, folded for standing still and stretched for gliding. And his articulation? Okay, not perfect, but still plenty posable for Marvel Legends. I recommend this figure. Really does feel like I'm living in an amazing fantasy having this in hand, but no, it's real. Is this real life? Someone fire at me!
You moron, I didn't actually mean that!
For number 8, we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla Singular Point Jet Jaguar. This is an underrated figure. No ifs, no ands, and no buts. This figure doesn't get as talked about as it should, and I swear it's because the design is overhated. This version of Jet deserved more love than this. Comes with a ton of accessories, and articulation is brilliant, and thanks to the design, articulation is pretty much seamless. Looks like he hopped right out of the TV screen. Is this price a bit steep? Yes and no. I personally don't think so because his accessories are huge and he comes with everything he needs anyway. His design is captured flawlessly, and this is the first time we got another monster in the line that isn't a Godzilla, a Mechagodzilla, or Mothra, or whatever. It's Jet freaking Jaguar. And to any fan of the anime, I do recommend him, especially if you have Godzilla. He makes for a great companion piece. For number 7, we have the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Super Superhero Ultimate Gohan. This figure is a great example how the Figure Arts Dragon Ball line has been evolving the past couple of years. His look, fantastic. The colors are vibrant and the way they captured his face is outstanding. His articulation is great. You can get a lot of poses out of him, and despite his shoe design being different, this is a genuine Gohan figure with the purple gi, so even if you don't want the other superhero stuff, this figure goes great in a general Dragon Ball display. Are you a fan of Gohan? This figure is definitely for you. Yes, he could have come with maybe one effect, but his price doesn't make it feel like you got gypped either. So personally, I don't think it's a big deal. Not all of the Dragon Ball figure arts need effects, with some exceptions, mind you. Overall, this is a really solid release. For number 6, we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2004. This was a surprise to say the least, and man, this turned out to be one of the best figures in the line. The articulation is so good, arguably the most posable Godzilla in the line to date. His sculpt is amazing and the paintwork, not too shabby. Fantastic stuff. Any fan of Final Wars, or fans of the monsters and designs at least, are doing their collection an injustice by not having this. One issue, no beam. I know we should all come to expect it, but no, it still sucks no matter how you justify it. Well, despite that, this is still a very solid release. Highly recommend it, just be aware of the one QC issue with the face. For number 5 is the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Kintaro. Another Mortal Kombat boss makes it to Storm Collectibles, and wow, this is a treat. Comes with a lot of stuff, his fireball, his hands, and even comes with frozen arms for the Storm Collectibles maskless Sub-Zero. He didn't need to come with that, but it's a nice bonus if you have the Sub-Zero figure, so I'll allow it. Kintaro is also just covered in great paintwork, and the sculpt is the stuff of dreams. Everything a Mortal Kombat fan can ask for. Oh, and the blood effects for the arms and the head, exquisite. You guys and gals know how much I love doing fatality displays, and his articulation is much better than Goral's. Maybe mainly because his ankle rock articulation actually works. Thank you. This is another flawless victory for Storm Collectibles, and I can't wait to see where the line goes from here. Number 4, we got the Mafex Black Costume Spider-Man. Amid the chaos, there comes a costume. Such a treat to have arguably one of Spider-Man's most popular costumes in Mafex. Such a good figure. Articulation, like always, is so solid. Do you have a Spider-Man-like pose in mind? Chances are, he can do it. His webs are still fun to use, but side note, I'm using a custom set of webs this time. His paint work is also well done. Blue highlights to capture the shading effects he has in the comics is a treat. Not too heavy and not too subtle. It works. And honestly, I'm a sucker for the Todd McFarlane artwork style, which is exactly what the head sculpt and eye lenses represent. Yes, I love this. If you love Spider-Man and the symbiote suit, don't hesitate to get this figure. He's a nice piece to do photos with or hanging out on the shelf. For number 3, we have the SH Figuarts SS Ultraman. I am not butchering that name any longer. Anyway, this version of the classic Ultraman is the perfect upgrade. He doesn't use rubber, but rather a soft plastic material, making him easier to pose, and oh, doesn't scuff his paint every 5 seconds. Screw you, Tiga! Sorry. This is a great figure, a much needed upgrade to the sculpt and paint job. His paint? Clean, not sloppy. And the sculpt is great and resembles the classic Ultraman. And his accessories? Awesome. He comes with more effects than the 50th anniversary Ultraman. And again, his posability is incredible. If you're looking to get an upgrade over the 50th anniversary Ultraman or don't want that crappy 2022 event exclusive release, get this one. Don't hesitate, or he's gone. At number 2, we have the SH Figuarts SS Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker. I am in love with this figure, one of my favorite riders in Figuarts form, and I could not be happier. The sculpt is so good, the paintwork is excellent, it is so clean. I'm shocked how clean it is, and his articulation, marvelous. He is a joy to pose, and his accessories have everything this version of Double needs. His scarf is the highlight. we have opposable bendy wire scarf, and just to give us the option, they also included his previous plastic scarf, which I can't name many companies that do that. If number 1 on this list didn't exist, this one would have been figure of the year for sure. I love this figure, and if you love Kamen Rider, this figure will have a nice presence in your collection. Figuarts Ultraman Leo is easily number 11. He didn't make the cut because of stiff competition, but otherwise, he's still a great release, has a lot of effects parts. He's just a great representation of Ultraman Leo. Leo fans, you may want to get this. The SH Monster Arts Hedorah 50th Anniversary set didn't quite make the cut due to a couple things. The flying form has an inaccuracy issue. When you see it, you can't unsee it. The back of the flying form is supposed to have the same pattern as the main form's egg sac. Oops. And honestly, the swimming form should have been 2 figures instead of interchanging the heads. Don't get me wrong, this is still a fantastic release and I recommend her. I like her a lot. Price may be steep for some folks, but you still get quality products. Happy 50th anniversary, Hedorah. The Marvel Legends Symbiote Spider-Man Retro Carded release, this version of Spidey is another great release from Legends, but if you can afford the Mafex, there's no reason to have this. Honestly, it's an excellent stand-in if you can't afford or don't have the Mafex Symbiote Spider-Man. Nice release all around. Would have been on the list if the Mafex did not exist yet. Mafex comic version Iron Man is a great figure, but did not make it on here because of his price. Yes, I know he has the proton cannon, but you want to know what else has the proton cannon? Exactly, the new Marvel Legends Modular Iron Man. The correct armor to have the cannon at all, and is $90 cheaper at MSRP, so that alone makes it a bit hard to want this figure. But the thing is, this figure is still a really good release that didn't need the cannon. His effects are great, his sculpt and paint are great, and his articulation is incredible. If you're a die-hard fan of Ultraman and don't mind the price, then yeah, go for it. He's really good otherwise. The Figuarts 2022 event exclusive Super Saiyan Broly is such a gorgeous looking figure. That pearlescent paint is a treat to look at, and he has his own aura effect which comes with an extension piece to match his height. Rock on, Bandai. My only complaint is that I wish the hair was more yellow and the skin tone was a bit lighter. Those are nitpicks, I understand, but it probably would have made the figure just look that much better. Still looks great regardless, don't get me wrong. I love this figure, and if you love the new version of Broly and the movie, chances are you should get this. Just be wary of the aftermarket prices, however. The Mezco 112 Collective Deluxe Wolverine. This version of Wolverine is good. Damn good. Well, Mezco is an acquired taste, so your opinion may differ, but genuinely, I do think this is a really solid release from Mezco. Much better than the old New York Comic Con version release, and better than getting Skulls and Gomez shoved down our throats every 5 seconds. And the accessories are fantastic. So much slash effects that barely any other figure company has included with their Wolverine figures. Mezco is a crappy company, but the quality of their products cannot be denied. If you're a fan of Wolverine, get this figure if you enjoyed the novelty of your figures having fabric clothing. For number 1 is the Marvel Legends HasLab Galactus. These figures are so good. Galactus is so much better than the Sentinel, it is no contest. The articulation holds its own weight because, say it with me now, ratchets. They learned. The light up feature is super bright too and looks gorgeous, which is also a treat. His alternate faces are great options, he looks incredible, and his 3 heralds are amazing figures. Silver Surfer I wish was pinless, but the way he was painted makes him look better than the old Walgreens Silver Surfer, and his head sculpt is also a bit better. Frankie Ray Nova is so good looking, and both her and Silver Surfer come with these beautiful stand effects that look awesome on display and molded to fit in Galactus's hands if you so wish. And Morg is also such a nice figure. Excellent paintwork and sculpt, I just wish he had more alternate hands. As big of a Marvel fan as I am, I do not regret spending the $400 backing this figure. My opinion, Hasbro proved its worth when delivering it to collectors' doors. If they were smart with the failed Engine of Vengeance set like they were with this one, that would have been just as good. But still, I'm happy to have such a big Galactus in my collection and to have a Galactus at all. If you didn't back him, the aftermarket is going to sting you. If you want to make such a big payment, do it at your own discretion and know what you're getting into. If you're a Marvel fan, you'll love the whole thing regardless.
I definitely made some of you mad with my number one figure of this year, but I do not care. This is my list and it's my opinion, so you can bite me. These figures will get their reviews at some point, so be patient with me. My New Year's resolution is definitely working a little bit harder for this channel to get a bunch of content out there for you guys and gals. You all deserve it because you've stuck around with me for this long, and we're really close to hitting 6,000 subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. With that being said, thanks so much for joining me today, guys and gals. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.